Hello all, it's our TED Talks Hangout. Today topics is something about stress management, and we have a lot of experts here. Someone from postal office, many teachers English, and it's all about stress management. So we have a warm company. We have a video about. I lost the title of video.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Irina.
Hello.
So how can we start? Is everyone watched the video?
Yes.
Yes, I did.
Teacher,
How can you be sure, Gerard? How can you be sure? Yes, you say. Maybe someone just decided to join without watching the video.
I know exactly that Gerard and Irina watched it because we have
Yes. We are A students, right?
Discussions.
Yes. We also know that teacher Lee watched it because we have perfect notice as always. Teacher Lee.
I watched the video. I have some notes at the shared whiteboard that I posted a link in the chat area up there. This video didn't really have a lot of content, a lot of meat. Basically, he just talked about stress and how to basically try to manage it before you have the stress rather than wait until after you have the stress, when your thinking is cloudy or not clear. So I think in general, this discussion would probably better be just stress in general. How do you handle stress at home? How do you handle stress at work? I think we would get more from a general discussion of how we handle it. The video didn't really have a lot of tips or tricks. So I would just suggest talking about stress in general.
Yes, I agree. Our topics is just for start our talkings. We can. I'm sure that after we will speak about English, about teaching, about all this, our favorite topics. Okay, I will post a link to whiteboard once more in our chat.
Okay.
So let's start directly from questions. We don't have questions in our whiteboard, I mean.
You should have two there from me. No?
Yes.
Should
But
have
not others. Not others. Okay, so
yeah, no one.
the first questions what we have, what techniques do you use? What technique use? I don't know how to pronounce it well. Teacher.
Techniques.
Techniques. Diana, please read the questions.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm afraid to open the whiteboard because I'm still here, you know, I really appreciate being here.
Okay, I'm copied to our chat.
Okay, what techniques do you use to manage stress in the workplace?
Let's start from you.
I do not have stress in my workplace. I eliminated my stress beforehand, you know, just I'm sitting at home.
Who's that?
Okay, we will back.
No, this is the stress. I'm sorry. This is the origin of stress. We're gonna go. She doesn't like the way I speak. Actually, probably she heard the yesterday's talk. That's why she doesn't like it. Go. I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem. So, Gerard, what about you? What technique do you use?
I do meditation, so I'm calm when something happens, and I'm able to accept the difficulties. But, you know, I watched the video, but I didn't get the point of the speaker. For me, he talked about we shouldn't trust doctors and medicines. That's the gist of the talk, the speech, because he didn't say many advice to to avoid this stress, because he said that we should foresee all the problems we may have, but that's impossible. We cannot foresee all the problems and have a prepared solution for every problem that may happen in our lives. I think that's quite stupid.
And it's a nice segue to our next participant. Irina, tell us, should we trust doctors or not?
Yeah.
It depends on the doctor.
Do you have a lot of stress on your workplace? What technique do you use to avoid it?
Yes. Yes, I have a lot of stress at my work because of, how to say, the lives of our patients are always in peril, and at any minute I can imagine that one of child's starts dying, and so it's a very stressful atmosphere. Plus, our chief is very demanding. She wants us to work according to her rules. She's a very kind person, and she wants our resuscitation unit to be perfect, but she does it pressing us, pressing doctors, and it's very stressful. Fortunately, our team is very friendly, and we help each other, and we discuss our problems during tea breaks. And also, I take my English e-book with me, and I read Facebook sometimes. And so, in this way, I can relax.
Irina, you are an addict, I can tell you. An English addict.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so friendly colleagues and distractions is the answer. Is your techniques, right?
Sorry?
So you shared two tricks: friendly colleagues and distractions. Is it right?
Yes, I think that the possibility to distract is the most helpful technique in every situation. If you are under stress, you should think about something pleasant, and psychologists give the same advice.
Mm-hmm. And did it lower the cortisol level when you think about something pleasant?
It depends on what you imagine.
Okay, last question. What should I imagine to lower my cortisol level?
It depends on a person.
Yes.
I'm just trying. I just try it. I know that it's impossible to have direct answers from a doctor. I know. So, teacher Lee, what technique do you use?
Well, at the workplace, I work in the nuclear industry, so a mistake in the nuclear power plant can have severe consequences. So everything we do is done by a written procedure. Everything we do, we follow written steps. We don't just, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. We don't do that. We get our procedure and say, okay, we're going to do this. Step 1, do this. Step 2, do this. Now so we do everything very precise. However, things do go wrong. People can make mistakes. I say, Ivan, do A. And Ivan reaches down and he does B. Oops. Okay. So what we do is we have, to reduce stress, is we have a pre-job brief. When we're going to do something, we get all of the people together that are going to participate. And we say, okay, we're going to do this task. This is why we're doing this task. This is the procedure we're going to use to do this task. And then we say, okay, what can go wrong? Someone said, well, you know, if we, these two switches are very close together. So if you go to grab this switch, make sure you don't grab the wrong switch because they look the same. So we try to anticipate probable or possible errors due to human beings being distracted. Okay. So we say, what can go wrong? And if that goes wrong, what can we do? So we talk about what can go wrong, and if it goes wrong, what can we do in that event to stabilize, to get back to a safe condition. So we try to anticipate, we try to expect the unexpected. And have and discuss what we will do if that goes wrong. So we also ask people, has anyone here never done this before? And if some guy says, you know, I've never done this before, that's a danger. That's an error possibility. So we say, okay, we get someone that has done it before, and we say, you and this guy work together, so that he doesn't make a mistake due to inexperience. So we use pre-job briefs to discuss what can go wrong, and we try to have a plan to prevent that. And if it still fails and something does go wrong, we try to discuss what we're going to do if that goes wrong. So that's kind of how we manage stress. Okay.
I see. What about English teaching? Is it the same?
When you're a teacher, your stress when you're a teacher is, what if someone in the audience or a student asks me a question and I don't know the answer? What do I do? Now, I have this stress in class. I teach adults that are very well trained. They know as much as I know. Sometimes some of them know more than I know. So my stress in the nuclear classroom is, if someone asks me a question that I don't know, that's a little stressful to me because the teacher is supposed to know everything, right? So our technique is, when that happens, we say, I don't know. Don't give them hogwash. Don't give them BS. Don't try to lie to them. That will destroy you. You say, I don't know. That's a very good question. I'll find out and I'll get back to you. And I'll come back later and tell you what I found. So that's how we manage stress. We know that we don't know everything. We can't know everything. So we take a note. I'll try to find out and I'll come back and let you know. So that's how we try to manage stress in the classroom.
So it looks like what you do, it's according to this video. So you have a prepared way to solve the problem. Leila, what about you? Tell us. Tell to us.
My dear friend, I just agree with Lee, and you know, because I'm a very sensitive, sentimental person, and I could be under stress very easily. So as a teacher, if you think of my job, I just don't want this. So if somebody asks me a question whose answer I don't know, I could say, okay, I don't know, and I will check it. I will, you know, come back later. So this is the truth, and I love saying, you know, I love telling the truth. I don't like, you know, just making up stories. Stress is my life, so I don't know how to avoid it. That's why I prefer to listen to you all today. And I will have some questions to Irina later, please.
Okay, Leila, but am I right that you mostly work with children? Is it so stressful, or maybe it's less stressful?
Less stressful, Ivan. I used to work with adults. You know, you're all my friends, and I can say this very honestly. I'm against political and religious issues in the classrooms. When you're teaching adults, this is something unavoidable. So, and it is difficult for a teacher, not to say anything, but a teacher should say nothing. So I prefer to work with children and innocent worlds. I love them. Stress, no way with them.
Okay, and we have a short warm-up session before this class, and teacher Lee told us what is that? Is saying about postal office. Teacher Lee, can you repeat for all, please, before we ask Vasans?
We have an expression in the U.S. That came from an event in the past. It's called to go postal. Now, where this expression came from was the post office. The post office is a stressful environment. And maybe 20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, a long time ago, a post office worker got so stressed out that he went home, got a gun, came back, and started shooting his coworkers. And this was a very famous event, very, very sensationalized. And after that event, we created an idiom, to go postal. To go postal means you just suddenly go crazy and start killing your coworkers. So this expression comes from a real event in the post office where someone that got stressed out, just lost control and started killing his coworkers.
Okay, and it's a nice segue to our expert, Vasans, who who know everything about stress management.
Yeah, actually, I listen to music to reduce my stress usually in my office too, because we do not have a lot of customers these days as we do in the past. So I can listen to the music. It suits, it comforts me. It reduces the stress level.
Yes, but does the postal office still a stressful place?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah. Sometimes actually you can meet a lot of people. So, every kind of customers you will meet. It might be a old man, it might be a illiterate, he might be a drunkard, it can be anything. So you have to handle all of them every day. So it can be stressful.
Okay. So your answer is distraction and particularly music. It's good.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yes. And books too. Book can comfort you.
okay. Diana, would you like to add something? It's still the same question.
Yeah, sure. Some people drink.
On the workplace?
Well, anywhere. People can do it anywhere. Actually, it reminded me an old joke about a doctor and a patient, who came to the doctor and asked for advice because, she said that she is afraid to gain weight each time she eats anything. And the doctor said, well, you should take a shot of cognac before each meal. And she said, well, doctor, I won't gain any weight. He said, no, of course not. Well, actually you do, but you will dull your fear. So cognac helps to reduce stress.
I don't know, should I ask, but I just for information, did you use this recept?
Well, I am not afraid to gain weight actually, so why should I?
Oh, it's not about weight, it's about stress.
Yeah. Well, when I was a student, I used to reduce my stress in such a way, but not anymore. I am a parent, so I should be like a model for my daughter now. And actually, I don't like drinking that much, so.
Okay, so I'm the last. As for me, I don't know what I use. If my stress caused by people, by employees or clients or colleagues, I just stop interaction. I just take my time to keep calm, to get calm. If it's caused by a software or hardware or well some techniques, in this case it's similar to what teacher Lee described. I have some prepared documentation. I can look into it and understand what should I do and what's happening here. So that's all. So my answer is distraction and instructions. That's all. So we can move to next questions, and it's not safe one in my opinion. But what techniques do you use to manage stress in the home, Gerard?
I wanted to tell you, I think there are two kinds of stress. The stress you have when in a long situation that provokes you stress, for instance, working in a non-friendly environment, of the stress of a specific situation. For instance, an earthquake, that the one happened in South America. So the punctual situation is different.
So what about let's start from you. What about how to manage stress in the home?
In the home, I think I don't have problems to manage the stress at home because I live alone.
The best way to manage your
way.
stress.
So it's simple and clear answer. I'm just alone. Okay, Irina,
I'm
what
just
about
alone.
you? Irina, what about you? What do you use at home?
When my children are especially naughty, I'm phoning my husband or my mother and start complaining, and they calm me down.
Okay, so sharing and complaining.
Yes.
Okay. Teacher Lee, tell us what about you?
In the home, we don't have too much. The only stress we ever have in the home usually is my wife and me if it's a money issue. Money normally is the only stress we have. If she spends too much money or has too much debt, that's the only time we really have stress. We're pretty compatible. We both play tennis. We do movies together. We eat out together. We do everything together. So usually stress, money. Unfortunately, when money's a problem, there's only a couple things I can do. I can cut up the credit cards.
And your mic is muted because you write it.
So I am blunt. I take decisive action. Okay. Not what would I call it? A sympathetic approach, not a collaborative approach. It's either control the money, or you control the money, or I will. But generally, I find I have dogs, I have pets, and pets help.
Teacher Lee, please don't write. Your mic is muted.
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. I have pets, so anytime I feel a little stress, I just look at my dog, and she's just laying there, so peaceful, and it relaxes me. So pets help me relieve stress. Also, I like to walk for exercise. Walking and playing tennis releases my stress.
Okay. That's good. I like pets. Leila, what about you?
Oh, I love writing. How I feel, and it helps me a lot. And sometimes don't laugh at me, I cry. It helps me a lot. And I listen to music, and then I feel better. Yoga helps me a lot.
So exercise, actually.
Yeah. So because mine is emotional stress usually, not physical ones.
Sure.
Yes. Vasans, what about you?
I prefer keep try to keep calm in my home. Because in work, if you speak something in anger, it could cost your job. You may feel it's okay, I can get another job, but in home, you can't get another parents or relatives, anything. So you have to be nice to them, and so keep calm and smile is my motto in my home.
Good for you.
But it's hard to do.
Mhm.
how you
Yeah,
share the trick?
the practice makes a man perfect. So
Hmm.
Diana, we already know about cognac. Anything else?
Yeah, and actually, Irini make a point, a very good point about cognac and homework, two related things, because yeah, that's the source of my biggest stress at home. Actually, my daughter's homework, because well, she needs me, and I need something strong before that, because yeah, because I cannot survive during that. Well, I'm just kidding, of course, but I think it would help. Probably I should start practicing that. At least I won't care that much. And it will help both of us. Because I think that my neighbors can recite from our homework sometimes, because because I'm being loud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gerard, you have a question?
Yes, a question for Diana. What about your piano performance?
Oh, okay. That's another source of stress. Yes, it's upcoming. I am practicing actually from time to time. Not too much time though, but I think it will be fine. It will be fine. I'm not a child anymore, so I can actually understand that it's not a big deal, I'm not playing in front of the huge audience, and these are just parents and children, and nobody expects me to be like the famous, performer, so I will be fine. Or we will have a good laugh. So that's fine too.
Okay. So, what about me? I don't have too much stress at my home. Only wife. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because my children is too little. It's always cause my laugh and joy, not stress. It's not time for it. And my wife is adult, of course, and it's a problem. And
Sure.
but I just starting to cry, and she will walk out. It's helping. Okay, and we have a question from Gerard about point of view of speakers. Let's discuss what he told us about. Gerard?
Okay, I explained you before my point of view. It's not, here the speaker says that we must foresee all the situations. And my question was, can you foresee all the contingencies that may happen in our life?
Yes,
And the answer is that impossible.
It looks impossible, but you hear Teacher Lee. he has a book.
Of all probable misfortunes that can happen, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I think there is an American expression that says doing things on the book or something like this. So you do what it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
By the book.
Yeah.
Okay. But in our life it's different because there are other things that are more emotional. I don't think, for instance, our partner can cheat on us, we can lose our job, some important relative can die. Can we foresee, can be prepared for all that things?
I don't think that the speaker, spoke about these type of things, emotional and something that we cannot predict. So, but we can predict some things, and it is better to be prepared for those things that we can predict, and we know that we are going to visit that doctor or to see the, I don't know, the tax officer or something like that, and get prepared for that. So it will be easier. Of course, we cannot be prepared for every misfortune in our life. Yes, and I think that the most dangerous thing about stress is that it can, sum up. I mean, misfortunes can sum up And by the end of the year, they say that even the little trouble can cause the huge, outcome. So we can react unexpectedly to the littlest thing. Yeah. So I think that this is what makes stress really dangerous. So
I think there was a hidden message against chemical pharmacists and doctors saying that provide a lot of information because this complex information is difficult to get. It's not a question of stress. And it's like saying that we shouldn't take medicines because the percentage of or benefit is low compared to the collateral effects. And the same with the example of a man that needs, when they are 15, many of them need to have surgery.
Yeah.
Just cancer, some of them. And he says that it's better than having the surgery. We don't have the surgery. I don't know. I don't understand his point.
His point was about numbers, mass, and statistics, and it's always tricky thing to understand. But let me slightly rephrase the first questions about point of view. Should we describe all the options about what we expect? Because let me give you example. When my wife drives a car, she don't know what to expect, but she had an answer for everything. If anything happens, she just call me. So the book is simple. It's one point.
Cool.
Yes, call the husband and told what happened and get the instruction or something else, because I am not on stress and I can think about it, and it's very easy to predict this thing. So my point and what I understand in speaker's speech, we don't have to predict everything. We just have to have some prepared reaction to that.
Like a backup plan or something. Yeah.
Yes. If something
when in stress.
If something bad happens.
Yes. I know my rule. When in stress, call Ivan. Google Hangout with Ivan.
Okay. So Irina, would you like to add something or rephrase it?
No, I just want to return to the expression "go postal." I remembered one of my colleague when she got her check. I don't know how to say in English. It's the document that shows how much money you will receive as your salary. I don't know how to call it in English.
Probably.
Paycheck. Okay. Yes. And when she saw her paycheck, she went to Lee. I don't hear you because your microphone is muted.
I'm not talking. I'm just mouthing.
Okay. And when she saw her paycheck, she went to the woman who counted her money, and she brought along her calculator with her, and she threw it into that woman's head. And that woman was hurt.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. And but fortunately for my colleague, that woman didn't go to court or something like this, and she didn't complain. She started explaining why that happened, just as an example of go postal.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Teacher Lee, what would you like to add something about speaker's point of view? What do you understand?
Well, as far as what Irina just talked about, yeah, we have a rule at work. Never tell anyone how much money you make. Because sometimes you might be making double the person next to you. And it will not be a good situation. We
Our
talked
chief
about.
gives us our paychecks, and we can see everybody's check. So
Really?
yes, and sometimes we really start discussing why someone got more than you and something like this. Yes, I agree with you.
Yes, in America, everyone keeps their paycheck secret because you can negotiate your salary. You can say, well, if you want, I want this much money. And if you're a good negotiator, you may make more money than the person next to you doing the same job. So, very dangerous situation. You can really piss people off if they find out you're making a lot more money and you do less work because you're lazy.
Teacher Lee, are you a good negotiator?
No, I'm not. I hate haggling. I hate it. But we were talking about anticipating. You can't anticipate everything.
Yeah.
The best you can do is its mindset. You have to have a safety mindset because you can hurt. You can anything can happen anytime. Your child may go out of your sight, find poison under the sink, and drink it. In a matter of seconds, your kid can be dead right behind you. So you always have to have a safety mindset because accidents can always happen anywhere, anytime. One time I went into the bathroom and my wife had my small child in the bathtub full of water, giving her a bath, and she was using the hair dryer to blow dry her hair in the bathtub.
Oh my goodness.
And I calmly said, if you were to drop that hair dryer right now, she would die. And she said, oh, I didn't think about that. So avoiding stress, like say, if she dropped it and killed my kid, now there's stress, right? Oh my God. So to avoid stress, you need to have a safety mindset to not do things in a way that an accident could happen. So always be thinking about an accident. You've got a knife in the kitchen and you're cutting, you're chopping, right? Oh, I cut my finger off, okay? So a safety mindset will avoid stress, will avoid a stressful situation from happening. If you're always thinking about what can go wrong, what accident could happen that I could hurt someone or someone could die, a car accident, anything. So the mindset is very important. You will avoid many stressful situations caused by accidents as long as you always think safety. That's probably the most important thing you can do to avoid stress.
Yes, don't have stress. It's a good strategy to avoid it. Leila, do you have some interesting story about paychecks?
No, because in Turkey they usually give the money in a kind of envelope, and nobody knows anything about the other people's salaries, so which is good. Because I agree with Lee. I mean, we are safe like this.
Okay, I can add to Irina's story that in Russia, in some industry, we have open paychecks, but I did not see that for a long time because I don't work on big companies. When you're in big companies, often happen, so like that. But in small companies, everyone is negotiator about own paycheck, and it's hard thing. you won't share it to anyone. Vasant, what about you? What do you think about speaker's point of view? Or maybe tell us about paychecks on postal office.
Yeah, we do paychecks and it's open to everyone. It's actually how to say, it has to pass all the post office from the head to the down. So each post office employees would see your paycheck. It's very open to all of them.
Okay. Okay, Abdul, sorry, I don't ask you. Can you speak today? Abdul, please write in chat if you can't. No? Okay. So can we move to another question or not? Or not yet? Irina, please read your own question because I should admit I don't understand. When you entered in your university, this one. Irina, you have your mic muted.
Sorry. Okay. Just I wrote just remembering my exams because exams is a very stressful situation every time. And the most stressful situation with exams, I think, when you enter university. My question is, when you entered your university, which techniques did you use to prevent a possible disaster, a low score? When I entered my medical university, I took 3 exams, and I was well prepared for them, but the atmosphere was so nervous because a lot of students also wanted to enter my university, and the competition was furious. I used a technique that I put on the same blues, my blue blues, and also I took my sister with me, and I believed that my blue blues and my sister helped me with my exams. Maybe you have something similar or your own techniques to reduce exam stress.
Okay. So let's share, let's broad the questions, not about university, but about any exams, or English exams, like that, everything. So in my case, I have a trick, and the trick is confidence. When you're confident, I just tell myself that, okay, I just know everything. I will do it easily. Nobody can do it as good as I. So, and after that, my stress is done. So it's my trick. Gerard, what about you? Do you have something?
No, but I think this guy only talks about the punctual stress. I copy paste a paragraph that can summarize all his speech. And it's talking about the stress in a specific situation when your levels of cortisol get high. But he's not talking about the stress, long time stress, because you have a difficult situation in your life and it's taking a lot of time.
Yes, Gerard, but Irina asked us, do you have some tricks to reduce your stress on exams? When you pass in the exams, something. English, driving lessons.
I passed one exam 1 year ago, the English, but my trick was be calm. I'm calmer than many years ago. I do exercise, I do meditation. I think that's good. Try to follow a healthy diet.
Okay, so confidence, the same answer. Teacher Lee, do you have something to share to us?
No, I think we've touched on most of it. Confidence. To kind of go back to Layla's situation, what sometimes causes stress is personal relationships in your life. Let's say sometimes the son and the father don't get along, they hate each other, the son moves away, and the son and the father never talk to each other. And then perhaps the father dies, and now the son feels great distress because, oh, I never told my father I loved him, or, so as far as personal relationships, the best thing you can do there is just always try to be a good friend, so that if an accident does happen and you lose someone, you don't have regrets because you never told that person how much you valued them. So just every day, it's like Christmas. You know, I think sometimes, why should we only be kind to strangers on one day a year? You should be kind every day of the year. You know, so it's that kind of a thing. Don't do something once in a while. Always be honest. Always let people know you value them. And then if a sudden situation causes stress, at least you've done your part. You have no regrets that you never told that person you loved them or you valued them.
Yes, right. Leila, you have a question?
Yeah, I was going to ask Irina. Irina, I think the older we get, the less stressful we feel. Am I right?
I think it depends on a person, because with me it's the same. I remember myself when I passed my school exams, when I passed my university exams, and now it's the same. Absolutely. I don't think so. I think that we get experience, and this experience helps us in many situations, because we behave automatically, like robots in a stressful situation. Children don't know, don't have this experience that adults have. So it may be really for children more difficult to overcome difficulties. But I think like Ivan or Gerard, they are very confident, but I'm not. I'm very inconfident.
Yes, but Gerard can teach you meditation and the thing is done.
No, but
When I have time, I will.
Irina does so many things. Her life situation is more difficult than mine.
Vasants, please.
Actually, talking about exams, I would like to say, while you are writing an exam, look around. You must see someone, at least one person, as same as you, looking stressful. So you will realize that you are not the only one. Even it does nothing to improve your exam, your performance, but it will make you relaxed at that time. It happens me a lot. It means
Okay, yes, I understand. Diana, we're talking about stress on exams. When you pass in an exam, how many stress you have? How much stress you have?
Yeah, it is a stressful situation for me. I was, well, it was difficult when I was a student. I, was stressed out before exams and during the exam, and usually it actually it was not helpful for me. I got prepared. I prepared for my exams, but the level of stress was just over the top. I don't know. I wasn't. Irina said she wasn't confident. I wasn't confident when I was a student. Never. I don't know. I think that with age, with some experience, you can get more confident, and you can get, or you can pretend to be more confident, and actually it helps. When when you act confident, you become confident. So actually, this is one of my tricks. I just, try to act as if I know everything, and people believe me.
Okay, it's good. I can't remember the title of TED Talks, but we had one about confidence, and maybe it's good for next sessions sometime. So, and we have a lot of vocabulary today, and I think it's time for it, Teacher Lee.
I've been kind of accumulating some vocabulary as we've been talking to give you some words to use to describe the situations we've been discussing. The video used cloudy thinking. Here, cloudy means obscured. The sun is covered, so it's cloudy. You can't see the sun clearly, so cloudy means confused or degraded thinking. You're not thinking clearly because it's cloudy in your mind. Hindsight is looking back into the past. You've probably heard the saying, hindsight is 20/20. That means we can see the past clearly because it's already happened. The video talked about pre-mortem versus post-mortem. This has to do with dead people. I have a post on dead people. In the real world, the working world, we use pre-job brief and post-job brief. Same thing, different work environment. Error traps are just situations that you can predict may be a place where a human may make a mistake. Critical steps are steps that if you do it wrong, you cannot reverse the consequence. It's too late to prevent an accident. So if you come to a critical step, you need to stop and say, okay, everyone, this next step we must do correct. So focus, pay attention, let's go. Flawless, no errors, perfect. Execution. When we execute a job, it just means we do the job, we perform the job. When we execute a person, we kill them. Paramount, very important. I said up here in the notes, my insights, safety is paramount. Safety is the most important thing that we need to remember or focus on. To go postal, we've talked about. We have a saying, we talked about music relieving stress. We have a saying in English that music soothes the savage beast. Even a ferocious tiger, you start playing music, he will calm down. I don't know if that's true, but that's what we say. Confident. Irina tried to say, I think, not, or maybe Diana, one of those two said not confident. Diffident is the opposite of confident. Diffident means you're not confident. Slang. We said, we asked, do old people care less than young people? I think the answer is yes. We have a famous movie star, Clint Eastwood. You may know him. He recently said, a funny thing about getting old. When you get old, you just don't give a crap. You don't care anymore. You say what you think because you just don't care. If they don't like what I say, who cares? So what? I'm old. I'm going to die soon. I don't care. So I think as we get older, we probably don't care as much because most of our life is behind us. Our job is done. Maybe we're retired. Our stress is a little bit less. And I just mentioned here chronic versus acute. As I think Gerard mentioned, some stresses last a long time. Chronic stress. You're always in a tense environment every day, week after week, month after month, year after year. That stress that's long-term has a bad effect on you over the long term. Acute is a situation where it happens for maybe an hour. You miss an appointment. You hurt yourself, your child gets hurt. Those are called short term. So acute versus chronic are two words that are often used in pairs. An acute situation, a chronic situation. So that's all I want to say about new vocabulary.
Yes, thank you very much. And we have a few minutes to discuss our next sessions. And I have an idea for everyone. Yes, Leila, please.
I just want to ask something to Lee. Teacher Lee, you said flawless. Can we use it for people as well?
Usually we use it for performance, a flawless performance.
Okay, that's what I was thinking, but I just want to be sure. Thank you, Lee.
Okay, and what I'm trying to say, let's discuss our next sessions. We invite everyone to be a chairman here, to take care of this class, to try yourself in this role. So, Irina, would you like to be a chairman on next TED class, or maybe Vasans or something else?
I will be, no, but in the future. Certainly I will be, but in the future, because now I'm in a very stressful atmosphere because of my work situation, my children's situations. They are still ill, and I can't. Sorry.
Okay. It's just just an opportunity.
I should calm down. I should be very calm. Sorry.
Okay, Vasans, it's for you to, if you would like to be a chairman here, welcome. And please send me the topics what you like, and we choose one, maybe vote one for the next classes to our Sunday. This time I will try my best to schedule the class in a time, not in the last hour. So thank you all. Last comments, if any.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ivan,
Leila?
thank you.
Ivan, schedule. We schedule.
Schedule. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Leila, please.
No, I was just going to say thank you for your efforts, my friend.
It's a pleasure for me. Thank you all. So that's all. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.